Does this dog have the shakes, or is he just tired and refuses to fall asleep? I think he may have mercury poisoning. Anyway, sorry for being late. It's this dog's fault, 100%. We'll get started here.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
I can't tell if he's got the mercury poisoning or if he's just refuses to fall asleep, but he's being really weird today. All right, so welcome everybody to our Wednesday edition, and we take a look at the Instagrams. Snuck up on me today. I've been working on a project, so time got away with me, and then I tried to get out there ahead of time and take somebody outside, but he's acting really weird. So see how weird he is? Look how weird he is. There's tables not moving. That's him moving around. But we're going to bring up the Instagram. It's over here behind him. And then we'll switch over to a screen here, I guess. See how he's wiggling around? That's not natural. Maybe he's drunk. I think he did something. Look at him. Look at that. He's got the mercury poisoning. What are you doing? Why don't you just go to sleep? Why don't you just go to sleep? You're not any use to us on this show anymore. Come on, go to sleep. If I try to kick his foot out of here, he'll get all mad. Like, don't tell me where to sit down. I'm not going to sit down just because you told me to sit down. See? He won't do it. There's a reason they say that one dude says he shouldn't have any kind of dog on any kind of internet show. That has to do with the Second Amendment. All right, well, so we're going to take a look at the Instagram today, and with that, riff on Second Amendment stuff. So I like to go into my Instagram. I go to my saved portion. I generally saved items over the last week or so. Guess what happened this last week? Yep, Christmas. So, let's just start here. This would have been Krabby Turtle, December 4th. Whoa. I guess I haven't done these in a while. Or I haven't been on Instagram in a while. So that was quite a while ago. Thanks, Krabby Turtle. I think I seen Krabby out here earlier. Boom. Giving the dog a wiggle. Let's see. Is this any closer? I remember saying something about Yankee, ice cream, this thing. I think I remember all these. What's this one about the border? I remember that one. So, what was this one? Oh, this is somebody dropping a smoke grenade out of a drone. We might be somewhere up here. Let's start with this. I've been working on the calendar. So, I think I remember this one from last week, but we'll start this week off with this one from last week. So, try to figure out, is there mercury in them or? I don't know. He eats a lot of weird things. So I'm concerned that he ate something weird. But he could just be super tired. He could only sleep all night long and then only been napping all morning. So he could be exhausted from that. But this whole wiggle thing he's got going on is concerning. So I'm sorry to be distracted. We got the tactical games as one of the, I'd call it a newer shooting sport. They're starting up in February, running through September. They're all over the place. Arizona, Florida, Texas, Idaho, Pennsylvania, Is that in North Dakota, maybe? Idaho? Or no, Iowa? New Hampshire? Utah? And South Carolina. So they're literally all over the place. That didn't work. The mingle is a... what does it say here? The mingle. Openness to experience. The personality trait that best reflects the lay concept of open-mindedness is called openness to experience, or simply openness. Open people tend to be intellectually curious, creative, and imaginative. Being open-minded is generally considered a positive quality. It is a necessary ability in order to think critically and rationally. If you are not open to other ideas and perspectives, it is difficult to see all of the factors that contribute to problems or come up with effective solutions. The mingle dedicates every event to all the ladies that come with an openness to experience. That's weird. So that's a way to describe it, I guess. But from what I understand, the mingle is an event hosted by the Complete Combatant, which is a training group out of, let's say, Georgia, because I can't remember. And I think it's Georgia. And they started off years ago now, inviting ladies from the Second Amendment community and the firearms industry to have, is it a week? So definitely some time together to focus on training. And I think it's more focused on Second Amendment activism and then a little bit of training. But I think it's evolved into training as well. But one of the longer running, see the way he's fallen over, it seems like he's just tired and he refuses to go to sleep for some reason. But he's been doing this for like an hour. So anyhow, the event's been going on for quite a while now. Okay, so say hey to everybody. Although saying he looks tired, yeah, I would think he's tired, but he's never been this stubborn about going to bed. Plus, what does he care if he goes to bed or not? His whole day is at bedtime. That's all he lives for, is going to sleep. So why won't he just go to sleep? Let's see. He must have ate something. That's what I'm thinking. He went out and pooped just a little while ago, for everybody that cares. And, all that stuff's normal. He kind of ran around all funny when he came in. So I don't think he's broken. First I thought maybe he's broken. Broke his back or something. But no. Fighting sleep. That's what it looks like, right? But what does he care if he's awake? And he certainly isn't paying attention to us. I'm looking right at him saying stuff like bacon bit. Bit. See? Bacon. Bit. Maybe he knows that sometimes he gets something. Oh, look, you look over. What's your thoughts on selecting a gun if you buy a gun? If you was part of a stay behind during Cold War, they had groups of civilians that would help down pilots and conduct guerrilla warfare behind lines, aka whatever that was named for, the Alaskan component. All NATO countries had them. Was curious about your thoughts on the guns that would be good for such operations. Swiss used a Bolt Magnum 41 suppressed short bolt gun. U.S. had Garands and suppressed. Wonder what modern weapons. I mean, if you're talking about a resistance to invasion or takeover, like they had in behind enemy lines and during the occupation of the Nazis and shit, then you're talking border patrol, you're talking guard posts and pat downs, and nowadays metal detectors and stuff. So depending on items, I think would be foolish. You'd have to have people trained in how to be smart, and kind of like what the Complete Combatant is all about. Being open-minded. So essentially, you'd have a bunch of MacGyvers, a bunch of James Bond. I don't know James Bond so much of that type of person, but somebody who's quick on their feet. But a lot of the stuff that happened in World War II wasn't with guns. You know what I'm saying? So I think you'd have smart people that were able to understand human anatomy and how to turn off light switches, and that information would go around again. That information used to be out there a long time ago. But when you don't need to do that stuff, nobody does it. So I don't think we'd have, I think it would be more like ice picks and wooden shims and stuff, stuff you'd see in a prison more than anything else. And then you just Red Dawn, use their own stuff against them. So let them bring whatever they want to kill themselves with to the party. But I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for. Otherwise, something small, probably. An all polymer Glock 7 makes more than you make in a month, or it costs more than you make in a month. But it get through all those metal detectors and stuff. Okay, so the complete combatant, something that happens once every year. I forget what time of year, but I'll be finding that out for the calendar. And you have to be invited to it, so it's not that it's not all these events are necessarily open for everybody, but they're I like to document that they're happening, and then let people know when they are happening. So if they're planning, he feels like he's trying to stay awake. Hard to say. Is he going to fall over right now? Is he about to fall over? You'd think I had him do a bunch of exhausting tasks or whatever. He barely does any editing. He doesn't even cook anymore after what happened. Sure, he has to clean and do a bunch of painting and stuff up on the roof. It's not that much to ask for a little puppy. Now he's just going to sleep right through the show. He's not actually laying down, just so you know. He might look like he's laying down, but you can put something underneath of him. He's standing here. He just looks like he's crouched over. That's why I thought maybe his back was turning into a rubber band or something. Maybe he's got rubber bone disease and he's trying to stand up, but all those bones are turning to rubber bands. He's not able to hold himself up anymore. He's pretty fat, so it's possible that he can't even hold up his own blubber anymore. No, he's not whimpering. He's not wincing. It's full of blubber. Look how much blubber. Maybe he's got blubber poisoning. All right, well, we'll get back to the show. I apologize for all the people out there that are offended to see an animal in this kind of situation. Okay, so then moving on from the mingle, I think it was still from last week. What is this? Just a hobby or reckless marketing gimmick, the world of kid gun influencers. So this is from Dick Heller. It says that a bunch of people are doing groundbreaking work in 2A. All right, so in gun community maybe. Have y'all have our full unadulterated support, and we will provide all legal, policy, and emotional resources we have to moving forward. So this is some article from USA Today, and it says Grant Davis has the perfect AR-15 for you. It has a muzzle brake for straighter shooting, an extended magazine release for faster reloads, and a tactical handguard. He shows it off in Instagram Reels, strutting around in Florida shooting range, strutting off rounds, sync to music. He's about to turn 10. He's part of the burgeoning group of kid gun influencers, kidfluencers, nationwide, and nationwide and one half of the 2A boys with his 14-year-old brother. So somebody in USA Today just figured out that little kids do stuff on the internet with guns. So I don't think these are the first of them for sure. Nobody's cutting any new ground here, but that's the recent generation of them. Okay. There's a lot of people out there whose kids like doing stuff, and they shared that on the internet. When the internet started to worry about being 13 or more, some of that stuff went away, but there's always been, and some of these people that they're citing here aren't, I guess they're all kids, but Cheyenne Dalton is married, so she's not a little kid anymore. She might have been young when she started her thing, but these are competition shooters that, is part of their sport, part of their branding to some extent, and then just part of their being a kid and, wanting to share stuff on their social media platforms, brag about what they're doing. They're just competition. Most of them are, at least the ones I know from this thing, are competition shooters. But, so that's cool. Dick Heller's paying attention to that. And I don't know, is that something that's going on? I'm not sure. But I seen that Trump had had one of them, 2A Boys, on. You didn't watch that one. I don't know if anybody watched that one. That was on YouTube. Next one is Shot University. So SHOT Show is coming up in January. It's like 4 days long, and it's an industry trade show. If you're not familiar with it, you'll be hearing a lot about it here in the next month or so. And then everyone shuts up about it because they overwhelm themselves and they fear talking about it the rest of the year. So it'll happen here for a month or so, and then other things will come up. But during that 4 days, the promoter, which is NSSF, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, the organization at the national level that is the industry liaison, or I should say the liaison between the industry and government. They'll be hosting seminars throughout the week. They cost $75 to attend, and there'll be, I don't know, is there 10 a day? There might be 8 to 10 a day. I used to go to them back in maybe 2007 and 8. I think I went to them. I don't think I might have gone to one in 9. No, 9 would have been Florida. So I think 7 and 8 I went to them. And let's just say they are what they are. They're not really marketing. They're to give people who are interested in something new, like the gist of it, I guess. But they have people come in who work in the industry. So if they were talking about websites, they had a website builder come in and talk about their product, not necessarily the concept of websites or why a gun shop might want a website, but they weren't necessarily just selling you their product either. So it was useful, but then narrowly useful, let's put it that way. And then from what I've understood from other people who've gone to different ones over the years, they've all been similar to that. So just figured I'd mention it because I know some people that are going to go to seminars. And if you're planning SHOT Show, your time at SHOT Show, you've got limited time there. That's your number one commodity at SHOT Show. It's going to cost you quite a bit of money to attend the show. And then you've got 8 hours at max that you're there. You figure if you really look at it realistically, the first day is Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday's the last day. The last day people are tuckered out after 4 days. There's technically work being done, but technically, right? Then you got Monday. Everybody who hasn't already met up is meeting up for the first time after a year. A lot of shaking hands and a lot of, hey, I just got to go now because somebody else is walking up. Okay, we got to go. Somebody else is saying hi. I could just be saying hi all day long. You don't really want to plan your work to get done on Monday necessarily, unless you're only going to be there for 1 day. And then there's all those people that are only going to be there for 1 day that have to get their work taken care of. Then you've got your Thursday and your Tuesday and your Wednesday and your Thursday. And both of those are your meat. Those are your days where you're going to get stuff done. Wednesday, the second day of SHOT, is really when you get all your work done. Thursday is when you follow up on that and you address your second tier stuff so that you've still got Friday as a buffer. And you had Monday to kind of get ready and experience what's going on and get your feel of the show. So taking any of that valuable time on Tuesday or I guess on Wednesday and Thursday, the second and third day for seminars, I mean, they better be some pretty freaking valuable seminars. And you don't get paid to go to the seminar. You're paying $75 to go to that seminar. So I'm not here to sell them to you, and I'm not here to tell you not to do them. But if you're going to go to one, I don't even know if they do them on Friday, but Monday might be the way to go. But now you're taking up your first day of SHOT Show where you're getting your bearings and your orientation, and you're worried about getting to that thing. You got to sit there for a while. You paid $75 to sit there. You got to take your whatever notes and make it worth your while because you sat through the thing you cared about. And then you got to take your notes and stuff and put that all in a pocket and go experience the rest of the show for the day. So while it's interesting, I really think that these would be more effective in the evenings when you can take yourself away from the show and not take time away from the show at the same time, or on a separate day, like Monday, Sunday, Saturday after, Sunday after, unless NSSF has a big problem with hosting or, being in town for more than 4 days or whatever, then, they don't, I don't know. Some people think it's a good idea, but I think it's a lot of time taken away from a thing you paid a lot of money to attend. All right, well, like I say, I'm not getting paid by NSSF, and I don't get paid to go to these things. That being said, I've tried to go to them before, and they won't even let me in to take pictures of them, even when I was, just trying to promote them. So they definitely think their data is so valuable that they don't just want to let people listen to it. This one's on cybersecurity threats and protecting your business. It's hosted by Lipsy's, NSSF, and Smith & Wesson and Hornady. So it'd be interesting to hear what they think, but unless you pay $75 and take time away from your show, you're not going to hear about it. There's Bishop out there. They'll be at SHOT Show again and Industry Day. Same booth, I'm assuming. So if you want to visit the Bishop booth, you go in at the downstairs where you register, and you can go to the right and be in the new product area. Or if you go to the left, you're in the exhibition rooms there on the main floor. Then you can go just past I guess they moved the SHOT Show store. The SHOT Show store used to be down there. So sometimes the SHOT Show store is right inside those doors on the left, to the left of registration, or to the, he almost fell off the bench, to the east of registration. But essentially you go into the registration, you go south into the building, you take a left and you go east into the exhibition hall, and it's go down past the first couple of 3 rows, and then you get to the main corridor, and then usually the second row, is it the second or third row? Second row is Bishop right on the end, so hard to miss them. Big booth with the Bishop logo there. All right. See, Lipsy's is shown. They always have some neat custom things. Lipsy's is neat. They that's what I think their deal was to buy a lot of, let's say, some gun, 100 of them, 1,000 of them, whatever, and then they send them to a place to have them either engraved or finished in a specific way. Why won't you just go to sleep? You're ruining the show by being distracting. So next we get Craig. I don't think we talked about this one last week. 6 days ago? Probably not. So Craig DeLuz is one of the people who are been an activist here for a long time. This one's post, he's saying, "I'm honored to be serving my 20th year on the school district board as president. In fact, this is the 12th time my colleagues has trusted me to lead them. Once again, I'm honored. So this is a guy who's been active on social media and working for the different national level, state level, and national level organizations. He's been on the board of the California FFL Association, I think, and worked for FPC and GOA and probably SAF over the years, and works with Mike at Arms Room Radio out of Florida. So cool to see Craig doing a post about some of the work that he's been doing. We know about a couple of activists who are quote unquote politicians or running for a brand for and have achieved been elected for office. Craig's been doing that now for 20 years at this level. Oh, they say they have a different booth this year on the truck aisle across from SHOT TV. What's the truck aisle mean? Truck aisle. Is that the main aisle? Like the main aisle downstairs? On the main floor? Unapologetically armed out there. Welcome. All right, so next up is another one from Craig. California loses population for an unprecedented third year. It could cost the state real clout. So that's an interesting one. We always hear about California losing their population and how it's hard to get U-Hauls. And we know people that have left California over the years. And, oh man, just go down. Just go to sleepy. Go to sleep already. Let's just go to sleepy. You know you want to go to sleepy. Just do it. You won't do it. But I never thought about them losing some kind of a population battle. I don't think they're going to lose it to Arizona. We're not going to become bigger than them, but they might become smaller than one of those other big states. That's interesting. So it says over here, the LA Times has supported for every single policy that has led to the mass exodus from California. They are now decrying the consequences of their advocacy. High taxes, excessive regulations, and decriminalization of crime, and the forced indoctrination of our children have made it almost impossible for many to realize their American dream here in California. So they are moving on to greener pastures. It's time for us to recognize these failed policies for what they are and remove from power those who implemented them. So that's probably part of the scheme, though, right? If it is a scheme, is to get rid of the people who disagree, and then you're left with the people that are going to double down on the stuff. So it's one of those double-edged situations, but I never thought about it from the headline there, that California will eventually be less significant in the country. So look at him, he's got the metal poisoning. He's got mercury poisoning. He probably ate a bunch of mercury or something. There's no other explanation unless he's on the drugs. Probably talking to one of them dogs through the fence. Eating some catnip. There's a bunch of cats that hang around here. His table's not wobbling. That's his head. I'll put my hand here for reference. See that? He's drunk. All right, this one is from... Who is this from? I don't know who this person is, but it is... Is Gizzard out there? I don't know if Gizzard's out there. But Gizzard gave him all kinds of cool stuff. So I remember him getting the thing. I just don't remember who he is on the YouTube. Is it Weston? This might be Weston, but I don't know. So whoever won it, though, posted it. And yeah, we got a bunch of cool stuff from Gizzard. This was on the Toys for Tots show where they raised like $2,000 for buying a bunch of toy guns for kids. I got one from the GunTube, guntube.org, and Mike over there keeping that place running for all of the people that want to. Oh, he finally went to sleep. Okay, we can update on the little dog. He finally fell asleep. I don't know who was betting on it. Took him 27 minutes to fall asleep. It's unprecedented. It's never lasted that long before. Or he passed out drunk. It's hard to know. So we'll have to ask him when he wakes up if he's got a hangover. So guntube.org, where you can host your videos and be in a community of like-minded folks. Now from 2017, I think he started that thing. Was it 2017, 2018? So Women for Gun Rights has posted yet another 2A Talk Holiday Edition. And this is actually 2A instead of just gun talk. It's not like how to get your grandpa to buy a new shotgun or whatever. This is, it says Christmas weekend has begun. As many of you gather with your families, friends, and loved ones, remember these 5 rules. If firearms come up at the dinner table, exercise love, share truth, and defend the 2A. So with that focus, they're trying to empower folks to have more useful and effective conversations and not devolve into enforcing divisions, right? Like reinforcing divisions. So there's 5 steps. The first one is find common ground. It says we all want to be safe in our homes and communities. We want to be able to protect what we love. So I guess the idea of this is to offer some angles, some approaches to the concept of being able to defend oneself and being against the laws which would disarm or disable that even ability. So the next one says, speak from the heart, share your journey to gun ownership, and share the story of survivors who have impacted you. That works for some people, but what am I going to do? Be like, I've been shooting since I was a little kid, I guess. Never bothered me. Next one is gun saves lives. Guns are used to save lives up to 3 million times a year in the U.S., according to the CDC. I carry to save lives. I hate that one, personally. I don't like this one. I'd like to see this one changed to something more about the concept of deterrence. When criminals don't know who might or might not have a gun, criminals decide to do something else. Gun Saves Lives suggests that there's 3 million gunfights in the United States. If you listened to this and didn't pay attention, you'd think there's 3 million gunfights, and guns are saving lives in gunfights. And this means 3 million, I got a gun, 3 million brandishing, 3 million draws, and, the guy runs away or whatever. This isn't, what we're trying to get across. We're trying to make realistic understanding of the actual situation. And the actual situation is that when bad guys know that good people might be armed, they decide to act differently. And that deterrence is why guns saves lives. But nobody wants to use that one. It's not popular yet. We can make that popular, because this idea that guns saves 3 million, that's bad math anyway. That's science that's disputed. So I don't care if you like it or not. You might love it, but guess what? Other people disvalue it. So every time you bring it up, they completely dismiss your argument. So you can have whatever argument you want, but if it's completely dismissed by the other side, you can acknowledge that or not. Being open-minded, like they said the other day. So I think this one's horrible. I'll acknowledge that every time I see it. Next one, point to failed gun control. Cities with the strictest gun control are plagued with the most crime. These policies don't work. It's true. Now that one can be parried because they've heard that one for a while, but it's better than nothing. And then the last one, solutions. Faster saves life, Kids Safe Foundation. And, this other one. Are efforts working to save lives and protect freedom? Mostly. So, I like the idea that there's alternatives, right? If there's solutions, but they're alternatives. And that might be a better way to say it, is alternatives, because to suggest we have the solution suggests that they're wrong, when we were actually saying no one knows. We're both probably wrong, but let's be right in a direction we can both deal with, or let's attempt to be right in a direction we can both deal with. Let's see. Although I was saying also, crime repeatedly dropped once we allow carry for the most part. People aren't as bad at night, especially in New York or new state laws years back. Deterrence is key. Yeah, exactly. When you see states change to CCW, crime lowers. And when you see it go to constitutional carry, which CCW means you can carry a gun concealed. You don't have to wear it openly so that everybody can see your gun. And when that happens, that started in 2010 for the most part in the continental United States, and now is 27 states in 2027. Crime goes down in those states. When you change it to, what am I saying? It's 50 states as of 2014. I'll shut up. 2009, no, was it 2018? So it took about 9 years for every single state to have concealed carry. Then constitutional carry started in 2010 and ended in, now we have 27 states. So I had to sit here and think about that for a second. So then constitutional carry means anybody can carry concealed. You don't have to have some kind of fancy permit from the state or permission from the state. And when that happens, that's the biggest fear monger excuse for that to have, to prevent that from happening, is that when you let anyone carry a gun, there's going to be chaos and everything will be solved with violence. When in reality, every bad person who wants to carry a gun today is carrying a gun today. Think about that. Every bad person who wants to carry a gun today is carrying a gun today. Every bad person that wanted to carry a gun yesterday carried a gun yesterday. It happened. Every single day of our entire lives and of their entire lives that they wanted to do illegal things, they did illegal things. You can't prevent that from happening. But anyway, I guess that gets into people don't want to think about that always. I don't know if that helps people, so I'll shut up. But yeah, I think deterrence is the key there, and the idea that crime going down, you're right. Let's see, we used to carry 500 cash on us and talk about silly pointless. Oh, you mean in order to conceal carry, you had to be carrying $500 in cash? I gotcha. Yeah, there was some pretty weird justifications for a restriction. So, the restriction was there from probably the olden days of the Wild West, and states came up with these issues because people were just yahoos back in the Wild West, and then they just came up with these laws at some point. Sometimes they came up with them for other reasons, and then they just were there. So it wasn't until the 1980s that those were starting to get challenged, and it wasn't until the 90s that concealed carry started to spread. That started to spread in the 80s from Florida. Anyway, so I think this is great, though, being able to have stuff to talk about, have a mindset of having conversations and hopefully educating and creating awareness, as opposed to just challenging and reestablishing divisions. Like White is saying, Coleonor posted a video yesterday where the UK is enacting knife law and other knife law, or knife law after knife law, and they're not working, so they're making more knife laws. It's spoons, man. If you got rid of spoons, then people wouldn't have the knives. So, you know what I mean? It's pretty obvious. You just have to outlaw one more thing, and that'll solve the problem. Oh, this is a good one from a girl in a gun club. You can't do anything about the length of your life, but you can do something about its width and depth. It's pretty good. So enjoy your life while you can, because you can't make it longer. So this one's going around from Gun Owners America. This is a recently popular meme. It goes, I want to defund the ATF. Then it says, be realistic. And then she says, I want anti-gunners to understand that criminals don't follow laws. And then he starts asking, when do you want the ATF defunded? So I think that's pretty good, because normally these are pretty lame. And this one did a double whammy by making it a win-win. So this one's been going around a little bit in the last couple of days. This is only a day old, so I guess we're at the end of this thing already. So we've been starting late. This thing didn't even last that long. But Rebecca Schmoy posted this one. I've had enough of the gaslighting fear of gun owners. We are as evil and dangerous as those who hate us pretend we are. Okay, if we were as evil and dangerous as those who hate us pretend we are, why are they so comfortable running their mouth about us without fear of consequence? Responsible gun owners are not the problem. They never have been. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it. So that's one of those things that's been frustrating for a long time, and they do this intentionally. This is we're a great adversary for the fake politician, because they can point at criminals, right, and then get mad at us. And if we do anything about it, get mad or get upset, they can go, oh, well, look, this person shouldn't even have a gun. And if anybody does anything weird, like most of the horrible atrocities that have been taking place with a gun, created by media encouragement, then they just say, oh, those are gun owners. They associate them with gun owners. So it's like they just double down every time. So it's win-win-win. Nobody likes taking a black eye, and nobody likes having to be the brunt of that kind of an abuse. But at some point, I think we have to call it for what it is. And Rebecca does a good job of calling it gaslighting, because that's what it is. They're manipulating. They're creating a scenario in which there's a no-win. And our reaction over the years has been to then leave them alone as soon as they leave us alone. And we need to end this. And the way we end it is through awareness and education. Once the regular person understands that guns aren't ultra violent, ultra omnipotent or whatever, then we win, because they won't be able to use these tactics. It's a frustrating one, and it's not a big glamorous thing. We don't even get to use our guns other than watch them be safe or whatever. So it's not something that's glamorous, and nobody's really petitioning for it now. But this sentiment has been around for a bit, and it often our conversations will boil down to this sentiment. But Rebecca voiced it well. I like to see it out there, and it got spread around quite a bit, so that's pretty cool. And a nice little, just some text on the screen, nothing fancy here. text on the screen, a little bit of accents with those little circular thingies or whatever, but really cool. So, have you ever heard of Gull? What's the Gull? Is that how it is? The outrageous insolence or effrontery. Something bitter to endure, but I think it's this one. Outrageous insolence or effrontery. That's what I'm saying. The absolute gall. So here's the NRA being a bunch of dicks, and this is why people hate the NRA in a lot of ways. Constitutional carry 2023 saw a new milestone for gun rights. The NRA says the gun control lobby's vow to dismantle the Second Amendment has backfired. And then they put all these things with the NRA on them, like all of us are against it or with the NRA or whatever. In 2021, there were 16 states with NRA constitutional carry. The fuck? Just 3 years later, there are 27 states. Americans in 11 states stood with freedom in the NRA. Asshole. So let me uncheck this one. That's the kind of asshole shit that takes place, and that's why people don't like the NRA. So I don't love them. They do good stuff, but they also do dumb shit like that. This is from Ginny. She's talking about how to do her air rifle, so we're going to go back and listen to that one.
Today I'm going to teach you how to clean an air rifle. It's really simple. Every 500 pellets, that's 1 tin of pellets, you take a pull through and 5 to 10 dry patches. I fold mine in half and they come out looking something like this. Remember, when you clean your air rifle, it takes up to 70 shots for the groups to return to normal. So don't do this on match day. Today I'm going to teach you how to clean an air rifle. It's really simple. Every 500 pellets, that's 1 tin of pellets.
So did you know that? Every 500 pellets? I don't think I ever even cleaned. I might have cleaned an air rifle if I got it really wet or in the dirt or something, but I never just cleaned it as routine maintenance. I don't know if anybody teaches their kids to do that, but yeah, it's cool. She's out there teaching people, probably care about them, how to do it. But I think that's a good reminder for regular people who aren't shooting, Olympically, to do preventive maintenance on the machinery. Gets you in the habit to do it on your real guns. I wouldn't say they didn't help at all, but they certainly took all the credit, right? Their stupid NRA's constitutional carry little thing there. No, they did something, and they definitely help. They just don't help everywhere all the time. All right, so this one is for Brooke. It says getting ready for movie night and got a bunch of popcorn and a bunch of... So here's the deal. I put this one up here so everybody could chime in. If you're going to be watching a New Year's movie and you're picking something, can I zoom in on this? Would you be picking... Yeah, I can't really. Would you be picking Twizzlers? These Sour Patch things? Good and plenty. Reese's Pieces, the ET food, Junior Mints, Whoppers, Swedish Fish, Mike and Ike, Butterfinger, M&M's, Milk Duds, Skittles, and I can't tell what that one is. So, first off, aren't Mike and Ike's and Good and Plenty the same things? Licorice inside of candy, make you look like you think it's candy and then it's licorice inside of there. And then Sour Kids and Swedish Fish are essentially the same thing. They're just designed to get dentists to put your fillings back in for you. Twizzlers are, I don't know, they're all right. This all has chocolate in it, so it's all equally good. And Skittles exist. And then I guess popcorn, if you're into popcorn. Like you're saying, popcorn and M&Ms. I've never eaten that, but I've heard of people doing that. You put the popcorn you put the M&Ms in the popcorn while it's hot or something. I don't know. Twizzlers and Butterfinger, I can see that. These Butterfinger bites are pretty good because they're already unwrapped. You don't have to fiddle with them. But there's like 4 in there, so it's a ripoff. AR guns. Can't help calling you AR guns. Sorry. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. Let's see. Fill the micro pockets. I never let a gun get too bad, especially rimfire. They don't rest. They rest. Don't need to clean as much. The bristles has sharp edges, no smooth sides like a projectile, and it wears the rifling. Yeah, I hear that. And that's what I guess I always kind of figured too. I would look through my stuff. I had borescopes, just a little bent piece of plastic when I was a kid. And when you're a little kid, at least when I was a little kid, I had nothing else to do except look at my guns all the time. So looking down the barrel, you clean them and you're scratching it all up. So I get that. I liked using the cotton swabs on some of my guns because I felt that didn't scrape them as much. I don't know if that mattered or not. It wasn't like I was in the Olympics or nothing, but I did, my 22s. I would, there's a couple of them I only ran cotton. I call those cotton. There's a name for that. It's just a big cotton ball essentially at the end of the thing. Are we allowed to talk about cleaning? Is that a thing that's verboten on this platform? Anyway, that's the last one. I guess now we can just chat a little bit. I might go over and look at regular Instagram. I didn't post that. I guess I wasn't really looking at Instagram this week. Been working on some other projects, I guess. No, not concepts. It's a thing at the end of a cleaning rod. They come in a cleaning kit sometimes. There's a name for them where they've got the big wad of, it's more than cotton, I guess. I guess it is kind of just cotton. But, it's not going to disintegrate like a Q-tip would. So it's not just cotton. It's probably some kind of cloth or something. But anyway, in other words, a fabric swab instead of a brass swab. This one's from SHOT Show. It says the latest SHOT Show Insider. Review the latest exhibitor updates from the SHOT Show blog, highlighting deadlines, freight hotels, staff registration, and more. Wait, what? What? Is this for real? Gadsden Glock passed away today? Oh, shit. Hearing about this first on here. I don't know, has anybody else posted about this? I don't know why somebody put that on there, but damn. That's kind of interesting. But Gun Owners Radio, this one says, one of these is used as a murder weapon in over 400 cases each year and can be purchased without a background check. The other is an AR-15. Pets or Vets. I usually post something from them if it's like a cartoon or something, but most of the time they're posting pictures like this where they match people up with their critters.
Tears, right? Oh no, them real tears. This is a good moment right now. What's up, man? This Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch.
I forget what this guy's doing. I think he's giving people a bunch of money every time they went to go eat. Is that like a vegan restaurant or something? So this one is from SHOT Show also, and it says, who manage your supply chain? They should be here. Look beyond the normal team you bring to booth your staff at SHOT Show, and plan to bring along personnel who make decisions on your supply chain, as well as those who help your business connect to the best suppliers in the industry. Owners, engineers, R&D, purchasing agents. Any SHOT Show badge holder can visit the Supplier Showcase January 22nd and 23rd in the upstairs. So let's see when that is. I keep missing that. I've been to it once, maybe twice, but I keep missing it because they do it on Monday, which is an a-hole day to do it because we're at the range. And then they do it Tuesday, which is the first day of SHOT Show, which is also an a-hole day to do it because we're, like I said before, that's when you're doing everything. So, man, I'm going to have to try to get there on Monday, I guess. But the Supplier Showcase is pretty cool. It's kind of boring for regular people, I suppose, because it's just the stuff, the materials and the zippers and the nylon and the machines, the springs, some kind of QA robot probably. So you do see some robots up there. I guess I could have zoomed in this whole time. This is from Banshee. So I don't know about how it is where you live, but we have coyotes and foxes and wild dogs, and they poop wherever. So I don't immediately assume when I see poop on the ground that it's just some lazy person. And then where I live, there's a lot of old people. And if an old person's walking their dog along and the dog poops, I don't expect every old person to bend over and pick up dog crap. Dog crap is dog crap. Maybe I got a crazy idea about that, but I'm not going to get worried about dog poop on the ground. Women for Gun Rights. What argument for the Second Amendment have you found to be most effective? Share so others can learn and strengthen their arsenal. Oh, that's an awesome post. That just came out 50 minutes ago. Let's see what we got. Only one so far. View hidden comments. Oh, jeez. Shall not be infringed. I'm glad they hid that because it's, is it a joke? Is it ironic? So we'll put that in there for next week. We'll take a look at that one. That's how you put it in there. So this heart thing, that's how you tell the world, like, hey, I'm on the list, because now somebody can click on this and they can go, oh, look, ooh, look who clicked on it. Oh, look at, oh, wow. Ooh, look at, I clicked on it and look all these other people. Oh, wow. All these people are just like me. And then they could go, you could go, oh, look, I think this person is just like me. Oh, Mean Arms. That's actually the ammo company in, is that the ammo company in, oh, no, it's not. This is someplace in Georgia. I thought it was someplace else. So now I just clicked on Mean Arms. So now I'll go look at their channel. And I'll go, there's a lot of memes. It looks like they're doing some kind of a loader. Memes. Oh, there's Riding Shotgun with Charlie. But then there's What's Her Face. So they just hang out with anybody, maybe? Trying to see who else they're hanging out with at SHOT Show. They're doing selfies, so that tells you a lot. So this gives you the opportunity. Oh, no. So we're going to go back up here and unclick that shit. And that gives you the opportunity to do that. How do you undo it? Unfollow. So that's where the heart is good. Oh, and then what happens is, as soon as I refreshed here, now the screen is refreshed. So got Crump. Here's AZ Guns posting about it. 94. Wow, he got pretty old. Dead at 94. So now there's going to be all kinds of jokes. A bunch of people who hate Glocks because they, for whatever reason, are going to do this kind of bullshit. They're going to post this meme bullshit and they're just going to repost it. So it's going to be a joke going around. Oh, you internet, you're so snarky. All right, so here's the Medal of Honor Museum. They'd say, like, to highlight the U.S. Army First Lieutenant Eli Whiteley, whose heroism earned him the Medal of Honor in 1944. While leading his platoon on December 27th in savage house-to-house fighting through the fortresses of someplace France, he attacked a building through mortar and automatic weapons fire. He was hit and wounded in the arm and shoulder, but charged into the house alone and eliminated its two defenders. Hurling smoke and fragmentation grenades, he reached his next house and stormed inside, eliminating two more and capturing 11 opposing members. He continued to lead his platoon in clearing hostile troops along the streets until he reached a building held by fanatical Nazi troops. Although suffering from wounds which had made his left arm useless, he advanced on the house, and after blasting out a wall with a bazooka, charged through a hail of bullets, wedging his machine gun under his uninjured arm. He rushed into the house through the hole torn by his rockets, eliminating 5 of the enemy and forcing the remaining 12 to surrender. As he emerged to continue his fearless attack, he was again hit and critically wounded. In agony, with one eye pierced, he shouted for his men to follow to the next house, and he was determined to stay in the fighting and remained at the head of his platoon until forcibly evacuated. So he must have lived. They got a picture of him with his eyes smashed up. Pretty cool. All right, so Rocky Mountain Gun Owners is asking for money. Still not sure about that one. I follow him, though. Last Out Play, pretty good project to follow. They do a lot of transparency with their internet or with their social. This is Hardhead Veterans. A bunch of veterans have put together helmets. So I guess we got booth bunnies again. Maybe we're going to start seeing booth bunnies again. Battle Comp. What is this? Manhattan Steamroller. Christmas. They must have gone to some concert, I guess. Got Ed's manifesto. He posts these things all the time, kind of like DC dumps, I guess. And then he posts his notes, which sometimes are big and long and sometimes they're short. For last year's words belong to last year's language, and next year's words await another voice. That's pretty neat. Yeah, there's probably Nazis that were, like, I'm just following orders, that kind of bullshit. And those are the 12 that gave up. The fanatical ones are the ones that died. This looks like a transformation from a Sega into triangle side folder. Nice. Some dude bench pressing. This is a guy from Pennsylvania doing the dot torture. So the dot torture is a pretty interesting one that's been going around for a long time now, since the mid 2000s or maybe earlier. It's essentially a drill that you can do with a box of 50 bullets at the range. You don't need to have a holster or anything. And you can print the dot torture out on a piece of paper. It's an 8.5 by 11 paper. And as you can see, it's got 10 circles on it. And then this information up here. So you can keep track of the date and when you shot it and with what, so that just for your own data, you can see your progress or use it as a barometer for your skill set. And it's, for example, the first dot here says 3 shots, slow fire. The second one says draw 1 shot times 5. The next one, if you can't draw from a holster, then you can just pick it up from the table, but essentially acquire a shot. So 5 shots, slow fire, just acquiring the target, and then quickly acquiring a target. They go on, and they use both hands, and you end up reloading, and it gives you a great run through a test of all your skills in a 50 round box of ammo. Pretty neat. Might be an effective way to test a firearms. You're going to test firearms one to another. So this is, I guess, the results of his shoot. Machine gun nest. There's a shop out in Maryland. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Somebody taking apart I don't know what that is. Is that a Ruger? Some kind of gun. Maybe a SIG. SIGs and Rugers are essentially the same thing, right? We can all agree. SIGs and Rugers, essentially the same thing. Something about a sniper school. Oh, I guess this is because of Arizona Cowtown Range. This is a place I follow out here in Arizona. It's a pretty nice range, long distance outdoor range. There's Ed's manifesto again. Wonder if that dude hitchhikes all around. I don't know what this is. Maybe a Cerakote place. The Navy UDT, Underwater Demolition Team Museum. So essentially the SEAL Museum in Florida. I've never been to it yet. I'll go there one day. Another Medal of Honor on this day in 44. Must have had a lot of action today in 44. What is this? December of 44? It sucks that on the day after, a couple of days after Christmas, dudes are having to do stuff. This guy, John R. Fox, earned his Medal of Honor for heroic actions, awarded posthumously in 1997. Wow, that's a long time. He died while calling in artillery against attacking German forces, calling fire upon positions closer and closer to his own until finally he called fire onto himself. The commander protested. Yeah, I can't read that. It's pretty crazy. All right, well, so then we get to some reloading stuff, and then it's no longer, somewhere in here is where it's no longer my stuff. So then it just decides what I'm going to like. And I don't know, does anybody follow this kind of stuff? I usually scroll down a little bit to see if it's anything interesting. Some kind of a construction thing with 6x6 logs or one of those timbers or something. The NSSF. That's interesting. What does this say? Honors 10 leaders in the shooting sports industry. Really? So there you go. And then that's kind of neat. Some guy painting. 6 facts you didn't know about Arizona. That we have the original London Bridge in Lake Havasu. Did anybody know that? We have the original London Bridge. They took it apart, brought it over here, put it up across the Colorado River between Arizona and Colorado. You can see my house in this picture, probably. Over 4,000 retired military planes sit in the boneyard. Yep, that's right over here. That we got the world's first archaeology prototype. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. There was once an attempt to build a Flintstones theme park. I think I've heard of that before. There's a cave where the water glows green on the Arizona-Nevada border. That's because of all the fish pee in it. Then 8 people lived inside this futuristic facility for 2 years to test life on a different planet. Yep, that's Biosphere. We live on the other side of the mountain from that. There you go. Just 8 facts about Arizona. There's the gun store, rental place in Vegas. Armed Women of America, painting pictures, I guess. All right, well, I guess we're going to end it. I'm just looking at random pictures at this point. Once you see meat, it's over. It's done. Get done coughing. We'll go back to this guy who has fallen asleep. For everybody paying attention, who's been following track, he has fallen asleep, being exhausted after sleeping all night. He got up and had himself a very short nap before he had to take a longer nap before the show started. And then finally, he finally got himself back to sleep. We used to do a drill of training and call a number and a color, and you had to hit that one as they called out more. Yeah, we had these, like, they're talking about that color triangles and shapes and stuff, and then they could say it was like colors, shapes, and numbers, and they could call out like even numbers or blues or triangles or something like that. Those are pretty good targets. Anything that makes you messes with your head a little bit usually gives you some of that. Let's see. All right, with that, I guess. Thanks everybody for joining us. Oh, I guess you know what I should do is head over to the YouTubes. And let's go over to the YouTubes. Let's go over there together. I'll put it over here. You can't see behind the puppy anymore, so I'll put it back up on the screen. And we'll put the puppy down here. Oops, no. We'll put the puppy down here. There we go. And see if we can find... Is Cape Gunworks going to have a show today? Whoa, what happened here? All right, so Cape Gunworks had a show yesterday. Looks like Chris in the 740 has a year-end chat. Is that today or tomorrow? Today's Wednesday, right? Did I do this on the right day? Let's see. We'll also open up our own show here in a second. I don't see anything else coming up. That's the this internet is. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to bring up my own show over here. Up on live. He still doesn't have nothing posted. Yeah, so Chris's show is tomorrow. It's Thursday night. But since it's the only thing that I can find in my subscription list. Yeah, so Chris's show is tomorrow. It's Thursday night. Wrong thing over. But since it's the only thing. Bring this over. I can find. We'll open up this show. We're going to just quickly turn this show inside out and look at the insides of it real quick. And we'll flip over to the customization tab. We'll click on the redirect place over here. We'll put the URL to Chris's video in there. Yep. and then we can click on it, and then once it's clicked on, eventually we can click save. And I think I already have this thing in the right place. So now we can close out of there. So this is Chris's show. Recommend you watch that one. Cape Gunworks will probably go live this afternoon, though. They just probably haven't posted the thing yet. At least I didn't watch the show yesterday, but if they did a show yesterday, they probably will go live today. But that's what we do this show. One of the reasons we do this show is so that we can, let you know about other things that are happening later on in the day. That's why I do it at this time of day, I guess, also. I don't know if I'm missing anything else over there, but we have a whole nother show taking a look at YouTube. So I'll get this back off the screen and go back to the puppy cam. I know it just slipped everyone's mind to give this little animal a biscuit. So we'll give him a 100% gizzard chunk just to make sure he's not sick. He's not sick. He was eating that pretty slow, though. Look how much he chewed that thing. Maybe he is sick. All right, with that, thanks everybody for joining us. And we will, let's see. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's the whole point of the YouTubes here, is to let people know, about the other stuff that's going on. I'm working on the calendar right now. I kind of debated if I should go live with that, but I figured it would just turn into either just a conversation about nothing, which would get boring and waste everybody's time. I don't know if everybody's sitting around doing nothing this week or not, but I just defaulted to listening to some stuff as I'm working on the calendar. But trying to get the calendar for next year going. If you know of anything event-wise that I should post, let me know. I'll probably, once I get nearer to completion, go live a couple of times to put that call out again. I want to make sure I get every rally and every interesting, maybe shooting event or even gun show if they're, cool or new or big or something. It's hard to get every gun show. That's kind of, it's definitely possible, but that takes entire efforts of teams. So I'm not going to be able to do every gun show for sure. But the biggest ones and the most interesting ones we can definitely do. So with that, we'll give this dog a quick spanking and then wrap this one up. With saying that, we'll click on this. I haven't heard of those, so I'll take a look at them. Looking for my outro thing here. And here we go.
GearWebsites.com is your source for firearms-based playing cards and books. We also have mugs, shirts, and posters with designs that we've made live. Of course, we have patches. Every Friday is Free Patch Friday. We appreciate your support. Thank you for shopping at GearWebsites.com.
Okay, look how his one eye is closed. Why is his one eye closed? That's weird. Here, let's bring this in closer. He's broken. This eye's open. This eye's closed. Oh, now he's wiggling around. He's acting weird. I also wanted to mention that all sales before the end of the month of December, are going to be in the running for one of those Civivi knives, right? So we probably should mention that more often during these live shows. I'll probably do an entire show just to mention that, but heads up for all the people that are listening live. Any orders over at the Gear Website store are entered into the Civivi knife giveaway at the end of the month. Okay, thanks again.